Following the release of the first Batman vs. Superman trailer this past week, director Zack Snyder has released the first 2 official teaser posters for the upcoming film, one featuring Batman and the other Superman. Batman vs. Superman opens in AMC Theatres on March 25th, 2016. Mark Barrisell, these new teaser posters for Batman vs. Superman.
I buy these posters, and I also bought the teaser this past weekend. I think that these posters reflect the art of what the film is going to be. I think that some people saw the trailer, and maybe it's just because they had such a Star Wars hangover that they couldn't get into it, or it was such a dark and brooding trailer. That's the movie that Kevin Tsuchihara said that they wanted to make. When he said that DC wants to be a more gritty, realistic kind of feel, that's what that trailer represented, and that's what these posters represent too, is that this movie is going to be dark. It's not going to be all that friendly. There's not going to be a lot of humor in it, but what these posters do is they accurately sell the movie that I think we're going to get, so it's a big buy for me.
I am going to sell the posters. Actually, I look at them. They don't really do anything for me, but that in no way negates how awesome that trailer is. I'm still talking about it with my friends online. That trailer is spectacular. Yeah. I still think the Star Wars one is a bit better. Remember, this is the second trailer for Star Wars. This was the first one for Batman v Superman. Let's see what goes a little bit later. And to the people who are saying like, it's too dark. Okay, wait a minute. You got to understand, this movie is motivated and influenced by the Dark Knight Returns comic book. And what a lot of people don't get is that Batman is not a friendly neighborhood crime fighter. He is a manifested nightmare. He is the embodiment of horror. If you understand that Batman, this Batman is supposed to be a guy who the very thought of him scares the crap out of people in the sense that I don't even want to try to pick some dude's pocket out of the worry that Batman's going to appear and hospitalize me for 6 months and make me eat through a straw. Right. That's what that Batman is. And I know where I'm talking about the trailer. I don't care. That whole scene when you hear Uncle Scar starting to talk about it starts with the fever, that's right, the rage, that feeling of the way he says it, powerlessness, and that close-up shot of Ben Affleck's face. If you look really closely, it's not just him looking grim. There's trembling in his face. Look really close. The feeling of power that turns good men cruel. And then the shot of the Batman outfit. Yes! This, I'm telling you, this is the Batman film we have been waiting for. I love the Nolan films, but this Batman is going to make Christian Bale's Batman look like a Teletubby. As far as darkness of the soul, I'm telling you that I'm so excited for that. Anyway, we're talking about these posters. I'm going way off on a tangent. Well, Steph, what did you think? I haven't talked to you yet about the trailer either.
I absolutely love the trailer. Let's take a few minutes to talk about the trailer. We've been busy. We haven't got to sweat out and nerd out, so get to do it live. Yeah, I love that trailer. I freaked out, and it was such a cool day to see the Star Wars trailer and then the Batman v Superman trailer within the same day.
Yeah, within 20 minutes.
I mean, come on. I mean, that was like a trailer freak out, and both of them are so different. I absolutely love that Star Wars trailer, and I cried just like everybody.
Yep.
The Batman v Superman trailer, I jumped up out of my seat like blown away by how amazingly true to what you're talking about, the Dark Knight Returns, and just the idea that DC is really following through with. Like, they have this pantheon of like weird Greek gods that they're really following through with. That kind of universe is what they're building, a more realistic and, you could say gritty, but I would just say just a little darker. And that kind of works with DC, and it works better with Marvel to have that lighter edge and have more humor. And that therein is the difference with those two cinematic universes. Snyder started it with Man of Steel, and now he's continuing that storyline, which obviously by watching the trailer, people are a little upset with Superman destroying half of Metropolis. I mean, we knew those ramifications would be there, but now it takes this guy out of retirement, Batman. And yeah, Batman, the Dark Knight, he should be that scary guy. That's what this is all about, like showing like, you brought me out of retirement. Do you bleed?
Who stands in front of Superman and says, "Do you bleed?
You will."
Who does that?
Only
Batman does.
It takes a dark dude to hire Jeremy Irons as his butler. I mean, that's not like a sane human being that'll do that.
That's right.
But the other thing that I loved about everything that we're getting out of this is now I think we're seeing that not only is this heavily influenced by The Dark Knight Returns, I have been talking for a while that my favorite comic book story arc for probably in the last 7-8 years has been the Year One Injustice Gods Among Us storyline. And if you watch this trailer and you've read Injustice Gods Among Us, This feels like a hybrid of The Dark Knight Returns with Injustice Gods Among Us. When Superman comes down that pipe and there's the 4 soldiers, I didn't see it the first time I looked, but those soldiers have the Superman emblem on their shoulders.
They're all bowing
Then they get down on their
They'll have
knees.
his logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's weird. It's like, I don't know
Like
what that
half the world is looking at him as a savior. Half of them are looking at him suspicious. I'm just real excited for the movie. That's all.
I buy these posters, by the way, guys. I like them. I think they're cool. And especially these are like teaser posters. These aren't the official posters. And it's like, I like both of them. A lot of people are like, which one do you like better? I think they're both great. You have to hang them side by side or opposite from each other. They're really cool.